For those of you who've never heard of Checkbox before, we're a no-code automation workflow platform. So what that means is that we help companies build their own software using drag and drop alone. So when you think about sort of like, Canva, how they sort of democratized, graphic designing so that you don't have to be a graphic designer to create beautiful posters and animations, we're doing the same thing for software. My journey through FI. So we went through the program in 2016. It was in the autumn cohort. So it's been about almost close to 5 years now since we went through the program. When I first went into the program, I was a solo founder with nothing but an idea, no team, no product, really just the idea. And when I went through the program, it was one of the biggest things that had happened through the program was actually finding what the actual idea that I wanted to sort of move forward with was going to be. Because one of the biggest things that I've learned is that most founders will start with some idea, but it's often the wrong idea, right? It's only through a process of speaking with the market, with actually testing and validating the idea through a process that you start to pivot and iterate towards what is not just an idea, but actually something that is a business, something that customers will pay for. And I think the Founder Institute is a really great framework that have allowed me to actually take what was an idea, and in fact the wrong idea, and put it through a very rigorous process, as Ben was sort of alluding to before. It's not easy. But by the end of it, we had not just an idea, but a business that was going to endure, a business that customers saw real value in and was able to sort of put the money behind. So I think that was one of the key things for me as a solo early founder. The second really cool thing about the Founder Institute was all the mentors that I've been connected with. And the way the program is structured is you have all these different types of themes as you go through the week that go through effectively the life cycle of building an early stage business. And you get these mentors who are experts in each of these spaces. Now, that's great and that's cool to build those sort of connections. But what was even more incredible was that one of my co-founders that I have now with me in the business came out of the Founder Institute. He was actually one of the mentors in one of the sessions. So obviously that was something that I did not expect, but it completely changed the trajectory of our business by going through the program, right? I was walking around, I was telling Ben, I'm looking for a co-founder, but as it turned out, it turned out to be one of the mentors in one of the sessions. But 4 years on, where are we now? We've raised now just over $4 million in funding. Sorry, Ben, I'm going to reach out to you soon about this, but this is news to Ben as well. We're just about to look into our Series A for this year, probably kicking that off in the middle of this year. We're looking to raise about 8 million USD. And right now, in terms of customers, we work with enterprise customers. So we have Telstra, Woolworths, Coca-Cola, Allianz, Credit Union Australia. We have Singapore government as customers and many, many more. We've got about 40 customers as licensed customers on the Checkbox platform. So incredible success that all started literally with just me and an idea at Founder Institute 2016 in autumn. So it's been a phenomenal journey since then. Yeah, so again, it depends what your gap is in starting your startup. Like, why are you considering the Founder Institute in the first place? For me, I had a wealth, I had so little to start with that I had so much to gain from this program, right? So whether that was networks or meeting investors like Ben here, or finding my co-founder through the mentor network. If you're experienced, the question you need to ask yourself is, what is your gap at the moment, and can the Founder Institute fill that gap? Because if you're experienced and you have the networks, you have the knowledge, and you know how to build a startup, then is it for the mentors perhaps? Right? Is it for the brand that's going to elevate you from just being another startup to, no, we've graduated from the Founder Institute, because the brand in itself has value. Think about the sea of startups that start every single month. The investors have to sift through, having that sort of credibility that sits behind you to say that, well, the Founder Institute has already done some level of qualification, some level of training, and pushing in the right direction to get you to where you are, gives you that sort of upper ledge. why do people not make it to the end? Well, one reason is they drop out. It's too hard. They realize that actually building a business isn't for them, and they drop out. And honestly, that's a good thing, right? It's better to find out through a program like this than to sink heaps of money and time, or drag your feet along on a multi-year process to realize that this is not for you. So this is kind of like condensing and forcing you to work out if this is really for you, at least in this point in time in your life, right? Because it can change, obviously, as things go on. The second reason why you may not make it is, well, let's say you consistently not do your assignments. So every week you get assignments. It is to help you build a business. If you don't finish your assignments, then maybe the directors will come to you and say, hey, are you sure you want to build a business? You can always rejoin the next cohort, but I don't think this is right for you right now. Or there's also a rating system where if you fall below a certain rating, then also there's this concept of special assignments that really put you under the pump. I think one of the great things about Founder Institute program is that it's structured so that you can do it if you're working full time. And it's, again, a test bed to see whether or not you are, for the people who are unsure whether you want to actually go full-fledged into a startup as well. It's been a mix, right? So in my cohort, there were people who were working full-time, part-time. I had the luxury of having a bit more time on my side. I joined the program when I just finished university, so I actually wasn't working full-time as of yet. I would say Founder Institute definitely does require you to put in time, right? There's no doubt about that. You can't escape building a business without putting in the time. And I think the program tries to emulate that. Regardless of whether you're working full time or not, you work 9 to 5, there's still, many hours after work. I know it sounds crap, but that's what it takes to build a business. If you want to keep your full-time job and that stability, you want to build a business, you got to work extra hours. And it is possible. People in my cohort graduated whilst working full time as well.